right, what is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of Brotherly Love here on the Fantasy Sports Corporation. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle, and my brother next to me, Mr. Luther Broughton. Luther, how are we feeling today?
Good man, how you doing, man? It's Friday. Happy Friday. Feeling good right now, especially
Yes, we
after winning last week against our rivals and hitting a bye week, a much needed bye week to get some rest and get some health.
yeah, man, it was we are officially at the midway point. Get the bye week at the perfect time, like you said. Get let Jalen rest a little bit. Get some of these guys on defense who are clearly banged up. Get them some rest. Get them linemen some rest. They've been working hard. Get
Yep.
healthier on that line. Getting an extra week there to get Cam Jurgens back for that Kansas City game. I think he's a real integral part of that run success early on. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, getting guys like Darius Slay some rest there, getting Big Fletch some rest there. It's comes at an important time, man. Midway point, man. Like you said, big win last week. You know, uh, you know, start as we went into the third quarter, it was looking really good, almost looking like we could have ran away with it for a second, and you know some some bad play calling, some bad breaks, bad penalties, bad defenses, however you want to look at it. One thing's for sure though, Dak came to play. We can't sit there and say that he didn't come to perform in the prime time. Ultimately he didn't get it done. I think we're gonna see the Dak flip as being a definite memorable moment moving forward as this rivalry will continue to grow and be one of these bigger rivalries that we have. We talked about that last week, but that was a big one that hit stopping them, and then stopping them short on that last one was big. If they wind up giving up that, it's a totally different game.
Yeah, it's pretty doggone good ending in terms of getting a victory, but man, we don't make it easy. We uh we,
We
we do a
don't,
lot of
do we?
we do a lot of
But
things
all that matters, we win these
that
ones, man. Instead of the culture was like 10, 15 years ago, we would lose these type games that where defensive would show up in the third, about the fourth quarter. So things would happen. You'd be winning the game, and then all of a sudden wheels fall off, and these guys wind up marching their way back in the games. Luckily for the defense, they got out of there, but it's definitely one that got the blood pressure up and kept us on the edge of our seats.
yeah, it's one of those situations where we put ourselves in a really great position to win a game, and then we just kind of messed the bed, man. We got conservative play calling on those last two offensive drives. Really didn't do much with the ball, and then of course we had a situation where it looks like we're going to run a wham play with AJ Brown blocking the defensive end, and it's not timed up, and the running back runs into him, and we're lucky to get the ball back. Like
We were
what
lucky that
why why are we
the
why are
three
we in
fumbles
the
that we had, we got every single one of them back. So lucky, so
yeah
lucky.
why are we running that play on third down where we're a veteran team and we don't have our motion timed up properly to run a motion where AJ's running across the face of the quarterback and the running back.
Even I
We're
think
we're
even Nick in his
we're
press
we're
conference said we have to do
hugely
a better job of coaching our
hugely
guys there. That cannot happen. He flat out
we're
said it.
we're a hugely veteran team, and that's just a situation that can't happen. Putting the ball on the ground in that situation where all we have to do is run a play, a successful, even if it's an unsuccessful run play, hold on to the ball, kick the ball, and make them go down the field to score a touchdown to win because they couldn't get the 2 point conversion and they were down, you know, down
Another big
five.
play by BG
So
right there,
you
forcing
have
Dak to
to,
step out so they don't get that too.
you have
BG was
to,
huge in this game, man. That veteran know-how, man. Right, Luther? BG was big with that. The third down conversion making or the 2 point conversion making Dak step out, and then the two big sacks that he had. I don't think it was the following drive, right?
yeah, I don't know if he had two sacks, but
I think it was a
I
sack
can't
and a half.
remember
I think
that.
one of
But
them was a
I
half a
know
sack.
he
So yeah,
showed up. He showed up in the fourth quarter big time, man. He's been a consistent figure for us for years and years and years, and he just continues to show out. That was a huge play on the 2 point conversion where Dak did a good job getting out of the pocket. You have to be aware of the sidelines there. Uh, it makes that made a huge difference in the game because Dallas easily, they probably should have scored a touchdown being at the 6 yard line with first down, but they easily get a field goal there, and that game goes into overtime, and who knows what can happen in overtime. So that was a huge play there. The stop on fourth down was huge. Crazy how much of a difference, like just inches made in that game the
it
other
just
night,
made
man.
so much difference in this game. I know a lot of people are sitting there saying the refs, but I think it's just more inches doing what they do in this game. You just
Well,
talked about it on the third down. Then after that, we talked about make it from the Dak flip. The next play, the play to Ferguson where get lucky you don't get called for PI because it was a little early, but Ferguson's knees down
yeah,
before he falls
I
to
don't
the
know
plane.
the people who are calling it saying the official made the game are Dallas fans. Like, come on,
We
you
had
don't
just as
call
many like
there.
listen, they
There's
gifted
no
them right into the
interference
red
there.
zone on that last drive, man. We killed ourselves. So
There's
if
no
anything, it was like, look,
interference.
they're trying to
There's
keep
no
Dallas in the
interference
game.
on that play. Yeah, he touched the receiver before while the ball was in the air. Interference is when you disrupt the guy. There's no unless you have a robot on the field. There's no way you throw a flag where the ball is that far from the guy and you got your hands like near his butt, his hip area. That happens almost every passing play. You can call that.
I know.
Yeah, but the
That's
pass
all the
interference down the
Cowboy
field
Nation's been yelling
against
about though.
yeah, the pass interference down the field against Bradbury
When
was a
reality,
legitimate
in
call.
reality,
You
Dallas
have to
fans, we are the king of the NFC East right now. We are not only the king of the NFC East, we are the king of the NFC right now. Because when you're breaking down the standings, I mean, Detroit's 6-2. You got to see what they're gonna do. Um, San Francisco has had a rough go the last few weeks. The Saints are in there. We put ourselves in a really nice situation. 2.5 up in your division. A game and a half in the conference. Not a bad way to go into the bye week, right, my friend? I can't hear you. You went off. There you
that
go.
position to be in. 2 games up in the division. Um, with a tough road ahead. This thing ain't set yet. We've got a tough road ahead, but we've put ourselves in a really good position right now.
I mean, couldn't ask for anything more. Uh, you know, going into that. I mean, like I said, you can't ask for a better situation. You could very well if you happen to do better than winning 2 out of the next 3, then there very well maybe a 2-game difference between you and everything else, and you really could give your guys a rest heading into January.
Yeah,
It's a possibility.
I don't know about giving the guys a rest. Well, I mean, we've got a one game lead over
I mean, meaning
Detroit.
like guys that are banged up and things that guys who are going to be needing it.
Yeah, again, I don't know about we're not in even remotely in a position to
Not yet. Like I said, if they like
to
what I
be.
was saying is they have to if we get through this gauntlet, say we lose to Kansas City, beat Buffalo, beat San Francisco. I'm assuming that Dallas game in Dallas is going to be a loss at one way point. We haven't swept Dallas, I think, since 2011, something like that. I think it was the Dream Team year when we just stunk it up and everything was said and done.
Yeah, even
So
so, even so. If that's two losses, even so, what you're saying is two losses. We've only got a one game lead on Detroit right now. With that being said, with two losses and a one game lead midway through the season, there's no way we could be thinking about we're not close to a point of resting guys because there's a lot of parity there. And we're just going to have to be able to fight through this like everybody else. The rest that we're hoping to get is that one game bye that you get for the number one seed. I don't know if we're at that point. I don't know if we're nearly at that point with this 4 weeks coming up. I think that discussion should wait a month. I think that the 4 game stretch coming up is just too daunting to even think about that because
yeah, I mean, obviously you have to take care of business.
splitting that is 2 games. If you split that and you lose 2 games, that means you have 3 losses. If Dallas wins their games, we have the same amount of losses as Dallas. If Detroit wins their games, they have less losses than us. If you're talking about splitting these 4 games, you're giving us 2 losses already. We're not thinking about resting guys at that point. We're fighting for our lives at that point. We're fighting to win the division. Because we will have had a split with Dallas if that's what you're saying. So I think right now, if you want to talk about resting guys, you don't even think about splitting these games. You think about running the table. But my thing is for that man is not look ahead, not be looking ahead to resting guys at the end of the year. I think you look ahead to the next game. I think it's just too early to look ahead, and I hope that's how I mean, as a fan, sure you can look ahead at the schedule. I hope as a team they're not even thinking about that.
I thought we were the fans, not the analyst experts.
But I think I'm here to give that perspective.
Yeah,
Correct?
obviously, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what we
that
do.
that
We have
perspective,
to keep
and
ourselves
even
grounded
as a
in that
fan,
aspect. I feel you, brother.
even as a fan, you're looking at that. You as a fan just said we'll probably lose 2 of those games. Put the schedule, put the standings back up, and let's give us 2 losses. Let's look at that. Because if we're talk we're way early in the season with a loss in the parity and give us 2 losses and look at that thing, man. From a fan standpoint, that gives me bubble guts because we're coming on some tough games at 8-1 right here. If we win 2 games and lose 2 games, we're 10-3. Not crying about that, but if Detroit just loses 1 game, they're right there with us. If Dallas wins their game, which they can do, they've got 3 losses just like us. If San Francisco is one of the teams that beats us, they've got 3 losses. Seattle's got 3 losses. If you're giving us 2 more losses already in the next 4, that's going 500. We've got 3 losses and we're right they are not even thinking about resting
I'm
guys.
just
You,
assuming
that
their losses. I mean, I want to be greedy and
Of
say we run
course,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Of
I want to be
course, that
greedy and say
but
we run it.
that's what I'm replying to. I'm replying to your prediction. Your
Yeah,
prediction is we're losing two. If you look at that schedule and give us two losses right there in the next four games, that puts us in a position where we are not thinking about resting guys. Eh, just talking about that prediction. Now, yes, I'm greedy. Like I'm thinking we beat everybody on the table. That's just who I am. Um, uh, but I'm saying if we beat everybody on the table, and in a month we can come back and say, "Look, man, we've got one loss, and all those teams hey, we gave Dallas another loss. We would have given 49ers another loss. Who the hell knows what Detroit's doing over there? But that means we got one loss, and now we talk about, let's see what Detroit's doing. Let's
I'm
hope they
glad
get another
you're
loss,
talking
and
about Detroit
we
because
can run the table.
did you like to see what Josh Dobbs did down in Minnesota this weekend, this past weekend?
Oh, absolutely. Coming off of no practice, coming straight from freaking Arizona.
Arizona.
And hell, he was on the sideline working on cadence with the center and going, man, that's just impressive. I mean, the guy is like an aeronautical engineering major at Tennessee. He's a
Yeah,
brain. He's a smart kid.
yeah,
But
he
to
is.
come there, get that offense that quick, and then on top of that, perform on the field, man,
He came
that was
across this one,
impressive.
right?
That was
Came
impressive,
across
man.
this, right? All right, we pulled up the
That was
graphic of
really
where they are.
impressive.
They're 2 games behind um, the Lions, right? And you see their next 5 games. They could run that.
Uh,
It, I mean, I
and
definitely see the
technically
Bengals.
they
It could
and
definitely be a loss,
technically
but
they could go 2-3 in that.
yeah,
I
you're right.
mean,
They could go 2-3 in that.
I don't know where they're playing the Saints at, but the Saints defense ain't nothing to play with, and they're getting healthy on offense. Russell Wilson, quiet as kept, is having he's balling again this year, and then they get Cincinnati. I don't see that as a cakewalk there. I don't see
Oh,
that.
it's not a
I,
cakewalk for them,
I don't see that
but
as 5-0. I don't see them running that table right
no,
there.
they're
Matter
not
of fact,
definitely
I see them
not going to
coming
run
out
it.
of that
I
under
think if
500
they
in
get
that.
lucky, they get 4-1. If
I
they
don't
get
think
lucky.
I think they go 2-3 in that stretch. I don't think I don't think they're going 4-1 in that stretch. No way, no how.
I guess we'll revisit this in 5 weeks and see if
Yeah.
Minnesota's able
I don't know
to make favor of
how
that
you see
schedule.
5-0 in that thing right there.
Oh, there's no way it's
Minute
5-0. If it's 5-0, they're definitely the talk of the NFL at that point in time.
Yeah, I don't know how that's five. I don't see that at all. But who the hell knows?
Who the hell does know? And after 10 games, everyone's little power rankings are out there. You think Baltimore is now the team making the most noise in the AFC, not Patty Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs?
What is what are what they have the same record? Are they tied with the same record at the top? I'm not
Uh,
sure what Baltimore's record is.
I think they are. I think they both have 2 losses.
Yeah, Baltimore. Their defense has been really good for a minute, but man, they've gotten more weapons on offense, and Lamar Jackson is playing lights out. I mean, he's not running as much as he used to, but that's not even, I mean, he's still one of the top rushing quarterbacks in the league that gives you just murder on a situation because when you have a quarterback that can move, you're now playing 11 on 11. Typically, it's 10 against 11 because the quarterback is not really part of that running game. And Lamar, you know what Lamar does in the running game, but but he's not even beating you that way right now. He's playing at an MVP level right now. And if they don't blow a game earlier in the season, I think they might have blown two. They're 9-0. If they don't blow it early in the season, we're talking about a team that's 9-0 right now, or 8-0, whatever their record is. Man, he has yet to perform in the playoffs, but we're gonna see
That goes
this
into the
year.
next thing because you're starting to see these graphics going around where there are a lot of people feeling like Baltimore will be the eventual AFC representative. And, obviously a lot of people are feeling confident that Philadelphia, makes the march back. We still have to take care of business first, but how would you feel? How confident would you feel of that matchup if that comes to pass? Baltimore, Philadelphia, in Las Vegas.
I mean, uh, if you're in the Super Bowl at that point, you've got confidence in your team. But I mean, that's just like at this point, pie in the sky, man. They got to run through Kansas City, bro. They got to beat Kansas City before you have me putting another
And that's going
AFC
to the
team
next
up
point.
there.
Now, obviously, we've been hard on Jalen this year, but through 9 games, him and Mahomes aren't too far off. Aren't too far off.
Listen, man, they could put up as many stats or numbers as they want. When you turn the ball over, you lose games. And Jalen earlier, we're not putting everything in its totality. I'm talking about, yes, we've been on him because he's been putting the ball on the ground and giving the ball to the other team. He's got 8 interceptions midway through the season, and he wasn't turning the ball over like that last year. He's been fumbling, putting the ball on the ground. Listen, I am not down on Jalen Hurts saying he stinks. But if you want to make the comparison of just numbers and throw that up on the screen, that's fine because you could do that to a lot of guys. You can put Sam Howell up there if you want to look at some numbers. Sam Howell's his passing numbers are tremendous. But if you're talking about the best team and you want to be the best team and you want to win the Super Bowl, listen, he threw for 200 and something yards last week, and I was extremely happy with it. All the Dallas fans wants to talk about how Dak outplayed him because he had more passing yards. What do I care? What do I care? We controlled the
All
game
right.
as
Well,
much as we
I,
needed
I'll
to.
counter that.
Jalen
Let
did
all
not.
right.
Hold
Like
on, man.
Dak
Hold on.
outplayed
Let me
him, right?
finish my point. Let me finish
Sorry,
my
brother.
point. If you want to talk about Dak outplaying Jalen, but then you look at Jalen and you go 200 and something yards, much less attempts, no turnovers. I don't care about the previous few weeks when you say, oh, he threw for whatever yards. Yeah, he fumbled at the goal line and he threw a bad interception here or there. What is outplaying? People are considering someone being outplayed when you just throw some flat numbers up there. Yeah, well, if you want to outplay him, then you don't step out of bounds going in for the 2 point conversion. If you want to outplay him, then you put the ball in the end zone on fourth down and make that play. If you want to outplay him, then you don't take a sack when you're going in to score the game winning touchdown. You find a way to get rid of the ball. It's been all week. Of course, social media is nuts, and I've got tons of friends who are Dallas fans, and they're throwing all these stats out here and how Dak is better than him, and how CeeDee Lamb is now better than AJ Brown because he had more yards on Sunday. Whatever you want to choose for your players, whoever you want to say is better, if you're gonna throw some numbers out there and tell me he's better because of that, good. Go for it. I'll take my guys.
No, and the numbers that they put up that this week was kind of like what we've been complaining about the Eagles offense the previous week. It was just AJ Brown getting these crazy numbers. When you looked at it last week, it was spread pretty evenly. AJ got off and got his. Devontae got off and got his. Dallas Goedert got off and got his too before his injury, which we're gonna get to that in a minute. So
That
it's
was
one
a
of these things, and
weird tackle.
huh?
That was a weird way to tackle someone, man.
Yeah, man. A lot of Eagles are complaining about the targeting. Obviously, as soon as he seen Dallas Goddard
Targeting.
look down like that, I knew exactly what was going. I'm like, he broke his arm. I'm like, he broke his arm.
I don't know. I know Dallas was stiff arming him or whatever, but I don't know if I've seen anyone tackle someone like that. I like that was just where you grab him, twist his arm like that. I thought that was kind of grimy. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't like to
And then
call people dirty or this thing. I don't like that tackle, man.
now, what about right before halftime? The hit on Jalen. A lot of people were like, "Isn't there the rule you can't go low below the knees anymore,
Man, I'm telling you this.
especially when you're down on the ground?"
I'm sick of the brainwashing of fans, bro. Listen, that Jalen hit
Educated, my friend.
that was in a crowd of players. It was an unlucky blow to the side of his knee. It was not a penalty. It was not cheap. It was not dirty. It was our guy. It was our guy, and that's why people want to go nuts. Listen, I don't think Demarcus Lawrence took a shot at his leg. It was in a mess. It was in a mess. He ended up hitting him. Jalen's feet were worse. He was stepped up there and he got caught weird. I thought that was much cleaner than the Goddard tackle. I
I
know
agree.
it's our quarterback. I know it's if we lose him and he gets that knee hurt, we're pretty much done because you don't just
Marcus
replace a
Mariota is
guy.
not taking a step
You
promise land.
just don't replace a guy like that, right? The way our offense is run. I thought the Dallas Goddard tackle was grimy. I thought it wasn't even close. And you got me defending, not you, but you got me defending a cowboy and Demarcus
Now, I want to
Lawrence.
pose something to you, right? I want to
Yeah,
pose something
I
to you
don't
because
think that was that bad.
a lot of people been throwing some possible things that the Eagles can do. The Eagles are going to bring Gronk in. Would you like to see them throw
No,
Julio
no,
Jones in
he
there in
cannot play
passing
tight end.
situation? In
He
passing
cannot play
situation,
tight end. He cannot play tight
I
end.
know he
He
cannot
can't
play
play
tight
tight
end,
end, man.
but in
Listen,
passing situations,
that guy has been hurt for the past 5 seasons. He does not need to be anywhere near tight end. Do I want to see him play more maybe in the slot now since our tight end is out? Sure. But
that's what I'm trying to get to.
hell
Yeah,
no. Hell no. I do not want to see Julio near more contact. I want to get him his 10 reps a game and utilize him in the red zone because he's still a monster. But I do not want to see that. And in terms of Gronk, who knows? Can Gronk play football anymore? He's been out of football
yeah,
for a
he's been
little
out of
while,
football
man.
for what almost 2 years now, right?
I mean, he played. Didn't he play a little bit last year? I don't know. I don't know if I don't know, man. That I
Yeah, I
think
don't
that's
got the
pie in the
exact, but
sky. I know people want Julio to be Julio of 10 years ago, and they want
he
Gronk
is not, man.
from ten years
He's
ago.
not.
Nah, man. Nope. Nope. No. Fine. Well, fuck it then. Sign me up for like 2 plays. Then if I can be fresh
Luther's like
for two plays.
I got like about 50 more plays than me. Let's do it.
No, I don't have 50 more plays in me. I got like five, maybe, and
So
not
so so
nearly
it's
as good as those
like the
guys.
commercial you're seeing where they got Marino, Emmett, Jerry, and all them.
Yeah, and I'm not.
We can make a comeback, bud.
Well below that class of player. And I know that. I realize that, and I can tell you right now, even with me being well below that class of player, I'll be a better tight end than Julio would be a tight end. He's not a tight end. I don't care how big he is. Let him do his thing out there.
Yeah,
Listen,
let him
we we've
stay in the slot
we
receiver, right?
it's the next guy up. The next guy isn't Goddard, and I know Goddard is a really good blocker. His blocking is underestimated, but you gotta
I
let
mean,
the
it's gonna be
next guy
Stoll, right?
you gotta let the next guy go in and do his thing. Let Stoll and I forgot the other kid's name. Let them go play. Let them get a game before we want to dump them. Let them get a
Was it
game before
Grant
we want to
Calcaterra or
dump them.
whatever it is?
Yeah, yeah, Grant. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to screw his name up. Let's let Grant and Stoll get in there and do something. And then if not, then we see what we can do. But listen, we have enough offensive weapons to be able to what I really want back is our line. What I really want back is Jurgens healthy and not the guys stepped up. They weren't great. They stepped up in tough
I thought
games.
Steele did a
Right.
really well job last week, and Opeta,
I
the
didn't he get
entire
that
week
fumble
before
recovery?
held his own.
Didn't he get a fumble recovery the other day?
Yeah, yeah.
That
If
was
it wasn't for
huge.
Steele, man, we would have been in
That
some
was huge. I
real
I
trouble.
know that's not blocking. I know that's not pass protection,
That's
but
just
that's
being in the right
huge.
place at the
That's
right time and doing
awareness.
your job.
Listen, before we want to replace the tight ends, I want to see the backups get their chance. Am I saying that because I was one of them, a backup guy? Maybe, but you still want to see what your guys can do, like
Yeah, man.
because
Like I
they've
know
been
everyone
competing
wants
for
to.
3 months, 4 months now. Let them compete and see what they can do with more
Yeah, they know
reps.
your scheme. They know your call. Like let them see
Correct.
if either your coaches like what
Correct.
they can do or they don't.
Or they don't. Or they absolutely don't. And they go, oh man, we're in trouble. And then you adjust. Then you run more three wide stuff. Then you run more maybe two backs, right? Who knows? Maybe you just use
And
less reps with tight
now
ends. So
I want to real quick get a quick word from our sponsors in. A few more words on last week. We'll touch on uh on week 10 a little bit and get ready to put a wrap on this. So let's hear from our sponsor.
Just Blazed Clothing Company. We are the premier clothing and lifestyle brand for the cannabis enthusiast. Premier clothing, cannabis accessories, with a South Beach flair. Go online today and check out all our great products at justblazedclothingcompany.com. Use the promo code FIGHT at checkout and get 10% off your purchase.
Promo code FIGHT at justblazeclothing.com. And what I want to touch on is you feel Kenny G redeemed himself with that opening drive touchdown, man?
man, I don't know. That's like a loaded question. Listen, if you
It's
put
more
me
like
in,
do you still have faith in him to do what he needs to
L-
do when
let
called
me let
upon?
me
Not
finish
not
though. Let me finish.
good.
That's a loaded question, right? Because people are blaming him for again for the offensive run game problems when he's not the problem. He doesn't even get that many reps, and he should have gotten his ass chewed. He should have gotten the fans on his shit last week for responding to a social media halftime after you fumble the ball. Listen, you don't you have to move forward. There was no redemption to be made. He fumbled in a game. That is going to happen. It's a huge fumble in a huge situation at the 3. You fumble. You can't get that back. You just got to be better going forward, but you're not going to redeem yourself the next week. You know why? If he comes back and he puts the ball on the ground in 3 weeks, and then he puts the ball on the ground in 3 weeks again with the minimal amount of carries, there's no redemption after 1 week. That means he's a guy that puts it on the ground, but he's not a guy that puts it on the ground. He fumbled in that game, and then he responded on social media. He doubled his mistake by responding on social media. He would have just had a fumble, which was huge because Jalen fumbled too at the 1, which was huge, right? But we ended up winning that game. We ended up winning that game, and that made those issues much less of an issue because you won the game. But what made us talk about Kenny again last week? Why were we talking about Kenny last week? Because he fucking responded
Because
to social
he got
media at
DM triggers
halftime.
at halftime.
That's why and I don't think I don't think he did anything last week to make us forget about that. I think he did what Kenny does. Kenny's a good football player, man. He had a good score last week, but that just still like that drove me nuts to see someone responding to social media at halftime. Dude, I know I'm old. In
Not of course
'97,
in that
we
aspect.
were in '97. We barely were everyone having. We didn't have smartphones. We had with a picture phone. The phone could take a picture, and it was cool, right?
The old
But I
Nokia,
wasn't
the old
checking my.
Nokia
I
cell
wasn't even
phones.
checking my phone for to see if a family emergency at halftime. That you just wasn't doing that. And this is different. This is a different age. Everything is on this computer. This is a computer. It's a computer, bro. Everything is on this computer, and we checked it. We check emails. You get a text from your mom. You get social media. You get a fraud alert from your bank. You get everything on that thing, and you're going to check it. I get it. I get that some guys might grab their phone at half because you know what we do. We go in there, we get undone, and go piss because you got a whole you're all tied up in all your stuff, and you go. You got to take a leak at half. Sometimes you might have to take a dump, right? You go in there, get loose, use the restroom, probably loosen up that crap, get some water, and sit in your locker because the coach is probably they've already made some adjustments. They're going your position coach is going to come in and tell you the adjustments. If not, you know what I used to do. Of course you're around our age. We're around the same age probably. I had a Game Boy and I
Yeah,
used to play
there you go.
Tetris. That's how I relaxed. Now, I didn't listen to headphones at halftime because coaches making adjustments. I would sometimes play, maybe grab it and play Tetris when if we had a
Tetris,
couple
Game
more
Boy,
minutes because it that's what it did to me.
Paperboy.
It got me chill, right? Maybe I would have grabbed my phone and played one of those stupid games because that's just me. Like that's what like got my mind like down. Other people ain't like that. Hugh Douglas, Hugh was a menace in the locker room, a menace to himself. Hugh would come in there early and he'd be rocking and he'd be talking and he'd be cussing out an imaginary opponent and he'd be getting his shoestring ready and maybe he'd have a headphones on and Andy wouldn't even go near him when Andy came in there and it was funny because Andy knew there was a violent storm going on over there, and it was Hugh, and we loved it. Right? I was a different guy. Like, yeah, I wasn't. That I'm not saying caliber of a player. It's everyone gets
Yeah.
differently. I would be down here listening to music, playing Game Boy, or me and probably Rashard Cook would be joking around, like talk. What are we gonna do today, man? We gonna get some reps today. What are we gonna do on special teams, man? Let's see if we can force a fumble or do something to chip in because we were backups. But again, it's 25 years ago, man. 20 something years ago. Maybe, bro. I'm saying all this right now. Maybe I would have grabbed my phone and looked at social media. It's different. I can't see that I would have done that. Maybe I would have. I just think that's nuts, man. But with that being said, Kenny made a mistake, man. He made a mistake
He
on
made
the
a mistake.
field.
I'm
Right.
sure. I'm
He
sure
made a
he'll.
mistake on the field and off. I don't see where they've had any issues with Kenny before. I think this is something Kenny could get past. Like, I personally liked the kid. I personally thought he was probably our best back last year. And what's funny is the Panthers fans called me nuts because, and I'm still a Panther fan. I said, look, dude, we should re-sign Foreman for $2-3 million. Probably keep our draft pick, and if we suck, then we get a QB next year. And it was a mistake to sign Miles Sanders for $6 million a year. They called me crazy. I said, dude, I'm an Eagles fan. I don't think
He wasn't that
that,
dude. He's not that
and
dude.
and and
He's
he's
a
not
guy.
that
He's
dude,
a good guy. He's not somebody who's 100% reliable, but you can rely on him most of the time.
right?
But just there's times he would disappear. He would just fumble at the wrong times to make mental mistakes at the wrong times. That's what I mean by he's not that guy. He's still a great running back. He still can perform and produce well in this league, but he's not a guy that you take that will help take you to that next level.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that guy. I don't know how did. Oh, we were talking about Kenny. I was thinking, how did we get on Miles Sanders? But yeah, I just I think Kenny will be fine. I think the best thing for our running game is to get those guys healthy and get Cam back, man. Cam Jurgens back is going to be a big thing for us, man. I think we have to get him back, and I think this week is good for us to get healthy. But our our offense, man, is not the problem with this team. This team is going to lose if this team continues to be doormats in the secondary.
You got to find
What
ways to get creative there and
you got to
and
find
shore up
ways
some
to
things.
get creative and do something, man. It's just so easy back there
And it's
at
not just
times.
it's not just the fact that they're getting beat at times. Like listen, we already know they're not playing to the level they were last year. But the other thing is they're not producing the turnovers that help make the difference to have the separation that we had last year, right?
We're doing all this stuff, and I know it sounds like we're whining. We're 8-1, bro. Isn't
I
that the
know
record?
it's a good problem to
Is
have,
it?
right?
We're 8-1 with some issues, bro. If we can just chip away and solve these issues, we're back in Vegas this year. If we can do that,
We
I
got to
hope
take
we
care
can
of
do
business, and
that.
you're right.
I
We got
don't
to
know if
fix
we
this
can
stuff.
do
Yeah.
that, but if we fix this stuff, we're back in Vegas, and that is a very, very good issue to have at the moment. At eight and
Yeah,
one.
they
Oh,
need to.
what's our record? Are we 8-1 or 7-1?
Yeah, right. We're 8 and
What's
1,
our
brother.
record? We're 8-1 at 8-1 right now. That's like, come on. If I'm gonna be complaining about an 8-1 team, I mean, my other team is 1-8 or 1-7, whatever the Panthers are. Uh, they have much bigger problems than Philadelphia. So there are different levels to this, and our problems are that we think we have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl, and don't want to ruin that window. That's our complaints as Eagles fans. Not that we're spoiled. We're not spoiled
No,
thinking,
we know
oh, we
what's
suck.
ahead of us.
No,
What could possibly
there's a
be.
window, right? Windows, those NFL Super Bowl windows, they close fast.
What got fast us?
And
The 17 team got dismantled. 2 years, it was a completely different team.
a different coach. Shoot. That's huge. But
And it's crazy that here we are. What 5, 6, 7 years later, and we've almost revamped it to a point where you have another window open up. It could be a one
well,
year
the window's
window, a
open.
2 year
The
window.
window
You
is
want
the
to hope that
windows.
it's more
Our
than that.
window is open, right? But those windows don't stay open. Once you pay your quarterback, your window starts closing because that eats up the salary cap, and you're limited as to what you're doing, and that's also a good problem to have. If you have a quarterback that you have to pay, great. That means we've got a good quarterback, but that limits your team in terms of the cap, and now you have to draft really well to recoup these things. And I
So
think,
like we're on the
we did
bye
that
week
in
this week.
terms of the
So
defensive tackle because we had to let Hargraves go, but then we had Jalen Carter fall into our lap. Great. And at some point he's going to have to get paid or walk and redo it again. So we'll see, man.
now we're on the bye week, so like not a whole lot of things that we have to go over this week. We will go over the schedule, but I want to get your thoughts on this one. Obviously, came across this one. what do you think is some of the scariest places to play in the NFL? Obviously, Eagles were mentioned, Kansas City mentioned, Seattle's mentioned. You're a guy who's played in this league, and what was a place that you just could not stand to play in?
Oh man, I guess one of the places I really actually hated playing in because it's so loud and it seems so like constricted, if that's the right word, was New Orleans. Playing in that dome, that little it felt like everything is on top of you, and when it gets going in there, you can't hear anything. You can't hear a word in there, and those fans are going absolutely crazy when they're good. And I played against them with the Eagles, and then I played for the Panthers, and it was the same division. So I guess I have like a bit of a history playing there, but that place is loud. I don't know about scary. I guess that was your question, but
No, like they
it's
said scary, but
just
I'm just saying toughest
so.
in general. Like
It was
scary.
tough.
There's no
It's tough.
scary play. I
Right,
mean, scary if
right.
you want to say that, we can talk
Scary,
about the
scary, scary is the opponent, but
yeah, right.
it's because it's so loud, and I'm an offensive player. So we're talking. We got to hear the snap count. We got to get off the ball, and it's when it's so loud in there, man, that hinders you. Um, I know I'm leaving something on the table. Of course, I played for Philly, so I didn't have to. I never played against Philly in Philadelphia. Um, I don't know if New York was scary. It was cold. Um, I never played in
I still say
Seattle.
scary is kind of the wrong
I
word
never
to use.
played
It's just
in
tough to play. Scary would probably be
I
like San
I never
Francisco,
played in
Oakland, just because
Kansas
people
City.
die there.
Yeah, I've heard Oakland was just an absolute mess. But the scariest place to play at was at home. Philly, those fans are nuts, man, and they'll tell you you suck right in your face, and they're going to pack the stadium. If you're 1-14, they're going to be there getting after you. So I know that's weird to say as my home team, but listen, I wouldn't want to come in Philadelphia, bro. I would not want
No,
to come in Philadelphia as an opponent. And I only played for two teams, and Carolina never went to Philly when I played there. So I wouldn't want to go there. And I also would not have wanted to play in Foxborough in Nicole against a team led by Tom Brady and Bill
yeah,
Belichick
they were tough to
together.
play up there in general, let alone in the snow. Ask the
Yeah,
Raiders.
yeah.
They literally killed that franchise. They have not been the same since that game.
And that still was a fumble.
I definitely hear you. But did you hear Jason Kelsey had another thing to add to his unique belt of achievements? He is now officially the top sixth man for up for sexiest man of the year. Is he? He's given the big brother the big
I'm
bowed
a, I'm a,
guys
I'm a, I'm a,
small there.
I'm gonna let you talk on that one. I ain't commenting on his sexiness. I'm gonna let you have that one,
Listen,
bro.
I just think it's fun. Like, why is Jason
It's
on there? Like,
hilarious.
is it Travis dating Taylor
It's,
Swift?
I think it's up to women and maybe homosexual men to make that decision. No, I'm serious. I don't know how I'm gonna make an opinion on his sexiness. Like, I don't know. I'm not into
I just think
guys.
it's a unique achievement for Jason.
It
That's
is a
all.
unique achievement. Like, I'd have to ask maybe my wife or a
I
couple of
mean,
my friends
I already know
that,
if I'm asking my girl, she's like, you're at the wrong position if you're asking me. Center's not the one you have to look at.
right? Yeah, I know. If that's the case, then I can get in this because I've gotten a little chubby over the past few years. That means I might be able to get in on this whole sexy thing. So,
And speaking of getting in on things, I came across this last month. I didn't get a chance to go over with you, but I don't know if you've seen Deshaun Jackson is doing a little pros versus bros type of thing, right? And he's getting people to sign up and do some things. If he got a
Interesting.
bunch of guys to go out there, like that actually might be kind of cool.
That might be kind of fun. It'll be fun, but it'll also be a few injuries
Oh
because
yeah,
I
so
could see
someone getting
myself
hurt. Someone
trying to
gonna
be
tear a
one of the
hamstring,
guys and like,
pop an
oh,
Achilles. Some of these guys that
this
have no business being out there. I absolutely hear
like myself. Yeah,
that. He's like,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm not doing that.
I'm good. I'll ref.
Let
I'll
let let, let, the,
judge.
let the Sean go and burn somebody up.
I have no problem telling you that I'm no good anymore. No
MMA,
problem.
MMA had bully beatdown. We had pros versus Joes. We had all kinds of stuff. You think the Sean's gonna get any traction with this?
I don't know. He could because he has enough clout to be able to get other stars out there to do it
Yeah,
with him.
definitely.
You know,
I
we
can see him going out there. He might get
that's a really
somebody
good
like a
idea.
Randy Moss, like a Chad Ochocinco or somebody like that.
That's
It
that's
might it
something to
might be
think
fun,
about.
man. I'm like especially trying to see some of these
But
some
you
of
know
these
how
kids
it is.
try to come to this level.
You're gonna have the men out there who try to be all superstar and hurt someone. That's like I used to play pickup ball my entire career, and sometimes I would have to undo my shoestring and go home because you'd have people that'll come out there and be like, "Oh, it's some ball players out there today, like some professional NFL guys out there. Now I'm gonna just go like super hard, fouling you from behind and all this type of stuff." And we'd be like, "All right, I'm good. I'm going home. I'm good. I'm not playing against a guy who wants to be a hero. I just want to shoot some hoops." So you're gonna have those guys.
Yeah.
Uh, so
I think it should be fun. I hope he gets some traction. Hopefully, you get some actual athletes on there. Some younger kids who sign up. Maybe make a name for himself, get themselves a scholarship. Maybe they didn't have an opportunity. I hope
right,
we see some stories like that come out of that. That might
right.
be cool.
That'll be freaking cool though. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
That'll definitely be cool.
So hope D-Jax all the best. I know some Philly fans have some love for him, some hate for him. He was always an electric guy. Love watching him play. Didn't matter which
Yep.
uniform he was wearing. Even when
Yeah.
he was a Redskin, he was still electric, man.
He was still electric. He was ridiculous. Tracking the ball. Oh man, that dude tracked the ball like no other.
Almost impossible to overthrow him too. But this coming week, obviously, we're down there with the pies down the bottom. Kansas City, L.A., Miami, Philadelphia are on the bye. Who are you? Which matchups are you looking forward to? This week. The
This week,
Steelers been making some noise. I like the Jacksonville San Francisco game. You gotta see.
that's the game. That's the game that I'm most interested in right there.
We were
Jacksonville,
talking about
South.
the
But
Vikings and
also,
Saints should be a fun game too.
I've got two games on the slate this week that I'm really interested in.
The
The two
Chargers and the
games
Lions
are
too.
the two games on the slate that I'm interested in are the San Francisco Niners at Jacksonville, but Cleveland at Baltimore, man. I re that
That
NFC
that
North
that rivalry
matchup,
is underrated.
that rivalry right there, that's nuts.
It's so
Those are the
underrated.
two
Like we
games
were
that
talking
I'm
about
really
our rivalry,
interested
right?
into.
No one talks about that one.
Yeah. I don't know why that's one team that left the city and was replaced
Baltimore
by
and Cleveland hate each other because of
they
this,
hate each
because
other
of these football
because of that. Yeah. That's a game I'm interested. The game I'm least interested was the game last night. I ended up going to women's college basketball game last night, which was a great game, a
teams.
top 10
Yes, you did.
matchup.
I seen that.
It was Iowa, Caitlin Clark had a 40 burger. So I was watching that as opposed to watching my hometown team play in the National Football League. And it was clearly which
Sometimes
one
you
was
just have
more
a feeling
exciting.
you know where it's gonna go. I don't blame you, my
Oh,
friend.
there was no feeling. I think anyone could have made that decision. The Panthers at the Bears with the Bears backup quarterback versus a team that has an O line that's like prostitute. Like anybody could get in the Panthers backfield. Like,
But yeah, like
and
I said,
they're killing that quarterback. They're killing Bryce Young. No quarterback could perform behind that line. The way that line is playing right now, Michael Vick could not escape. Like it's just so bad. He's snapping the ball and it's a turnstile. And I'm like, this is a disservice. This is a
it's like
disservice.
watching like Pee Wee football or something, right?
It's so. I told my cousin, I said, this is like high school versus rec league. And it looks so bad offensively. It just looks so. I want you to watch if you could find that game. I'm sure it's on. Go watch a quarter and watch the Panthers on offense. Just pay close attention to the line play and also the scheming of things. And yeah, we just finished killing Miles Sanders, but he has nothing he can do there either. It's been bad, man. It's been really bad. You hate to dump on God. Reich has not done the job, man.
It's
Like,
unfortunate, but one last
yeah.
one before we wrap it up, my friend. Obviously, on the bye week, we're looking at looking back at what it is right now. Do you feel like
Why is Miami up there? When does
yeah,
this list come
for
out?
some reason that a lot of people feel Miami has a lot
Wait,
better chance
when did this
than
come out?
Baltimore. I don't
This
get it.
had to be 3 weeks ago.
I don't get it. Now,
First
San
off,
Francisco where they're supposed to be.
first off, Miami goes down this list. There's Buffalo.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no way
swapping Miami
Buffalo.
with Baltimore immediately.
I'm putting Baltimore way up on. I might put Baltimore ahead of Philadelphia on this list right now.
There you
Truth be
go.
told, Baltimore and Philly right now top two. Kansas City has Patrick Mahomes, so they don't slide down
Yeah,
farther
no,
than a lot of
they stay
people.
at 3. I like the 3 and 4.
Cincinnati has a healthy quarterback right now. Look like
I
Cincinnati.
would swap
They're up
Cincinnati with
there.
Jacksonville. That's what I would do here.
Cincinnati is definitely ahead of Jacksonville, in my opinion.
Hmm.
San Francisco has lost 3 straight, and they are rotting in my eyes. But I know they're good enough to be there. Uh, I
I would
think
have
I
them like
have
if I'm
them.
doing a power ranking, they're like 6 or 7 in my eyes.
I don't know if I have them that high, not after losing 3 straight. But I can't get upset with
I
you
got
putting
Detroit
them
ahead
at
of them, but
six.
like I said, I would probably Seattle's probably tie with them right now, just because of the fact that they're tied in their division right now, same record basically. So
Right.
the only question is, do you have faith in Buffalo to
No.
stay in there? I can't. Josh
Listen,
Allen is probably
their
the most
team is
hottest,
not.
coldest elite
It's not
quarterback
even.
we
It's
have in
not
the
even
NFL.
only him. It's not only him either, right? He's so hot and cold, but it's not only him. There's something with that team that's just you're just waiting and waiting and it's like she gives me blue balls. That's
No,
kind of what
you know
Buffalo
what it is.
does.
It's like a race car, and you got a bad part, and you're trying to figure out why this car is like misfiring. It's running rough. You're trying to figure it
I
out,
I
and and
can't like
and
I
the
can't
coach is just like,
understand.
I can't tell you what's wrong with it. We got this great car. It runs great. Should be the a championship winning car. It's just not performing like that.
There's something that's just not clicking there. I can't tell you, bro. I can't.
Yeah, we're not in the inner workings. I know those guys are frustrated over there. I know Diggs is getting over the moon with everything he's dealing with over there. I know Allen. You can't just put it on Josh, and it's
No,
kind of
you
what
never
Belichick
can.
does regardless.
Yeah,
But
that's what we do. But still,
it's
he's
not
got to
just
be
on Josh.
better. You know how we talk about Jalen when he turns the ball over? We got to have that same talk about, and even more with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Stop giving the ball to the other team. Stop giving them interceptable passes. Even the ones that aren't picked, you're like, oh, why did he throw that? He's better than that.
Yeah,
But
man,
oh
it's
well.
going to be a fun one this week. I'm looking forward to the non-stressful football watching this week, this weekend.
Yeah, man, it'll be good right now to not have to deal with that. And actually, like even Sunday, I'm going to another lady basketball game. I'm going to see the Gamecocks play Maryland. I have a friend who I knew from Philadelphia. Her daughter, her and her husband have a kid who was a McDonald's All-American last year, and she was like, we play the Gamecocks, and we were just like talking. I was like, all right, go ahead, get me a ticket. And I'm fooling around. And she texted me and she was like, hey, we were able to get a ticket. So I'm driving to Columbia. It's only an hour away. But Sunday at 1 o'clock, I won't be watching the NFL. And it's a good relief because the Eagles aren't on. The Eagles take days off of my life, man.
I
It's
definitely feel you there,
crazy. One of my really good friends who's from Dallas area, huge Cowboy fan. She works for Fox Sports, or she used to work for ESPN. That's how I met her. Her and her daughter came over, and we watched the game last week, and she was freaking out. I said, "Listen, I can tell you right now, we're going to fumble at some point and give you an opportunity." And 2 plays later, freaking AJ runs into Swift and he fumbles. And I'm like, I told you. And the first play of the
That's like her
drive,
all game. She's like,
freaking
yeah, we're
pass
going to
interference.
freaking
But
fumble.
man, they take time off my life. But
Oh
I love
man,
my
gonna
team,
enjoy
man.
the downtime this week. Another fun episode in the books for us this week. We're gonna enjoy this one. I hope everyone enjoys the relaxing time. We'll be back next week. Gonna have a lot more fun, and getting ready for that Monday night Chiefs matchup. It should be a fun one. We're gonna have a lot of fun breaking it down. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's enjoy this week, and we'll see you same time, same place, folks.
All right, peace.